and welcome back to the channel. I am the Heir of Carthage and we are in Total War Warhammer 2, where we're going to be taking a look at another battle replay. This one coming to us courtesy of Zero, who is frequently on my Discord, and appreciate the help that I've gotten from him with, having a lot of replays over a long time. With the new patch out, he dug in and got us some battles so we can see some in action. I need to cover more battles in Warhammer 2. I just got busy covering a lot of single player, which I enjoy and I'm going to keep doing, but I also enjoy battles in the game, which is why I put up that 3v3 I played the other day in the stream, and we'll be trying to get some more of that in as we go along, so keep an eye out for it. Anyway, we've got Volkmar the Grim for the Empire, and I'm going to slow it down for just a second because this fight got started hot and heavy here. He's got some spearmen, great swords, and Sigmar's sons charging forward. There's two of the great swords. Does have the silver bullets, 2 units of Demigryph Knights, and then a third one, which is the Royal Altdorf Griffites, which is, remember, a Fear and Terror version. They're supported by a Jade Wizard, who's going to have Regrowth and Earthblood. And then for the Elves, we've got mostly Spearmen, but they do have a couple of units of White Lions. I say a couple, there's 4 units of White Lions here. That's a lot of White Lions. Against the Empire, I actually kind of like White Lions. They're not great against missiles, but they do have some missile resistance innate, so it's kind of like having a shield. And they do pretty good against Empire infantry for the most part. Probably not fantastic against great swords, but probably not bad either. So I do like the pick of White Lions in this particular setup. And then we're going to have Shadow Warriors as well. A lot of fairly low armor from the Empire. Not all low armor, but Shadow Warriors are a nice long range 360 degree arc of fire type unit for that. And of course they are supporting Alethanar, who also has some good range while on foot. He's got the Moonbow. Then he's got a Fire Mage to support him with Fireball and Burning Head. We're going to see a couple of Illyrian Reavers for support too, which are cheap cavalry. And I really like the use of the White Lions here to get involved in this fight. Sometimes the cost you spend on a single unit isn't worth the sum of 2 other units that may be able to counter you. And in this case, when we look at it, Demigryph Knight could easily shred through an Illyrian Reaver. You could put up a decent fight against the White Lions, although you wouldn't want to just leave it engaged. But against the sum of the 2, with the Illyrian Reavers combined with White Lions, it suddenly becomes a rather nasty fight for the Demigryph Knights, even the Royal Altdorf Griffites. So a pretty cool combination of units there, and something you can remember. How you choose to spend your funds in these battles matters a great deal. Should you choose to put it all in, one unit or a couple of small units, or do you spread it across multiple units? And then how you use that, what you engage, that obviously makes a big difference too. Do you all see that there? Those 4 Shadow Warriors just demolished that Jade Wizard in a single shot. We're going to get a Burning Head here too from the Fire Mage, which was nicely placed. It's not going to catch much of the second fight was there, but it will get some damage on those units as it passes. So nice job getting rid of those Spearmen. On the right-hand flank of the Elves, the White Lions did come through. These great swords, however, are going to cut their way through any High Elf Spearmen that they encounter. They're just better units, but we're going to see these White Lions instead ignore that great sword and start to make a run at the Silver Bullets, which I think is a very prudent decision. Silver Bullets, you don't want them late into a game with a lot of ammo. Now, that fight started off great against the Demigryph Knights, but then Volkmar came to support, and Volkmar is kind of a tank against armored infantry, and the Demigryph Knights have just continually worked to separate themselves from that fight, and now they have done so. But there are even more White Lions inbound, so a lot of lions back here. Meanwhile, the archers are under pressure from the last remaining unit of Demigryph Knights, who did get some purchase on one of them. You can see one of the Shadow Warriors is being driven out of the battle. The Illyrian Reavers are good at holding, good at pursuing, even good at getting into light skirmishers, but they're not going to be able to hold too long in the fight with these Demigryph Knights without some pretty significant support like they had earlier from the White Lions. See Alethanar just kind of getting chucked around here. One of the benefits of Alethanar is that, except in the very right circumstances, he doesn't die terribly quickly when he's getting charged by large units. You can't keep him in that kind of combat for long, but like, for instance, he doesn't take any special damage bonuses from these Griffites. So although they outpower him and stuff, he's not a large entity, and it just helps make him a little more survivable, which is definitely good for him, though he's not uber survivable, right? He's not uber survivable. He gets knocked around a little, and it kind of slows that process. We're going to see Volkmar using his abilities here to nicely get rid of that White Lion. They are terrified now. However, out here, the Silver Bullets get the combined help of the regrouped Tyrannoc Chariots, who will help get rid of the Silver Bullets handgunners here. So this is a good grab here for Zero and his Elithanar army. That's going to leave Volkmar without any range support. See here that the Shadow Warriors, when they don't take a massive charge, are actually decent in a melee holdout. They just can't damage the armor of these Demigryph Knights particularly well, but Volkmar he excels into blobs of infantry. Armored, unarmored, really doesn't matter a ton. He's better against unarmored, but he can do damage to both. We're going to see him plow in here and start to get rid of some of these archers. And Zero's going to do his best to keep some of them alive. And you can see over here, Elithanar managed to survive his encounter with those Demigryph Knights. Now has a little bit of help with some regrouping Spearmen and White Lions. Get a close-up on these units. White Lions are very cool-looking units. Sometimes they feel a bit underwhelming in the game, but I've mentioned before, they do have niche roles. And I would say against the Empire in some capacity is one of those roles. Their specialty is the fact that they have some some missile resistance. The Empire fields a lot of missiles, and the White Lions actually trade decently against Empire infantry. So I think it is one of the few niches that we see them fit in. At this point, Volkmar is going to be getting some very much unwanted love from all over the battlefield. We just saw Elithanar's moonbow go shooting past there. Didn't quite connect. In the background, we got that golden monolith. This game is quite beautiful. I'm really looking forward to Game 3. Been playing more Troy and been seeing more videos from Game 3. And I'm really looking forward to a newer version of the game that can continue just kind of the beautiful scenery that we had. And after seeing what CA was able to do with Three Kingdoms, what they were able to do with Troy, I feel like Warhammer 3 ought to be quite beautiful, or else we're all going to have to riot. Not actually encouraging it, but you know, just for fun. So you can see Volkmar here. These poor White Lions. Even Elithanar there pulling a Legolas move. And Volkmar is going to do his best to try and wait this one out, but he is just going to be overmatched. He can be chased by the mage. He can't get away from the mage. Be getting hits. The archers still have a tad of ammo. There's all that armored infantry, and again, despite excelling against armored infantry, Volkmar can't take stuff endlessly, right, with no support. He does better when he's got at least a little bit of support or a place to fall back to. There's another moonbow there causing significant damage. So Elithanar has done well here. You can actually see him back there in the background, and he's able to defeat the Empire. So some cool gameplay here. Elithanar, Zero sent me a couple of other replays with this. We'll check one of them out when we get the opportunity. Appreciate Hank putting up a fun battle on the other side, getting some pretty decent work done with Volkmar, but overall, a very interesting high elf build here from Zero. I really like this. The infantry is a tad overwhelming for the Empire to take care of, right? Even Empire spearmen are pretty good against, you know, other like Empire spearmen or Empire swordsmen, right? It would take something better to beat them. So this is actually a bit of overwhelming infantry for the Empire, and the Empire did bring a bit of better infantry in the form of Sigmar's Sons and 2 great swords. It wasn't enough, and then you put in these 4 Shadow Warriors, and suddenly you have a pretty significant range component here for the High Elves as well, something that the Empire has to respect. You saw that range component actually shred on some of the great swords early on in this battle. They don't have shields, and they don't have that missile resistance like the White Lions. And if we take a look at the Lions, you know, they did decently for them. So this one did very well. This one must have been the one fighting the Demigryph Knights. It actually did very well. And the other ones, honestly, except for this one here, did pretty okay. And again, like I said, it's hard to get these units to pay for themselves, but this is one of those matchups where they might. Shadow Warriors also getting some very nice numbers off of them. Illyrian Reavers, again, this is a cheap unit. And look at the numbers on them. Not bad, right? You don't have to get stellar numbers on every unit. Just remember you're kind of aiming to hopefully get the amount of value out. It's the gold cost you put in. And not bad at all. If we take a look at Elithanar, again, not a terribly expensive lord, and he did a pretty according amount of damage. And then the Fire Mage probably cost a little more than that, but still not bad overall. The mage was still alive and helping all the way into the late game. So fun battle. Hope you all enjoyed it. We'll be covering more of this. If you have any battles that you want me to show in Total War Warhammer 2, Total War Rome 2, whatever game it is you're playing, go on to my Discord channel. We have a place to put Warhammer 2 replays, and I believe we have a place for Rome 2 replays. If there's other replays, you can just post them in there and just let me know what it is. and I will try and get a chance to get to it. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed this one. Heir of Carthage signing out for now. I'll be back with more soon, so stay tuned.